Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Discovery Tour version of Assassin's Creed Origins, which is to say Egypt. So I suppose you could even call it a Ubisoft Presents. So this is a very unusual sort of side mode. Now you can see that I'm actually not in Assassin's Creed at the moment. You can, if you already own the Assassin's Creed games of say Origins or Odyssey, it will have this patched in as a mode. But what Ubisoft has done recently, have released this for free, actually. I think it's only for the next couple of days, similar to what Epic Store does. It seems to be the new trend. So jump on over, you can get both this and the Odyssey mode for free. Now, it's not the core game. What it is the game world, so there's a lot of the assets in that there, because I've done a little bit on the other Discovery Tour, and I might actually just continue that playthrough a little bit, given that this is in flavor at the moment. But it is very much a museum walkthrough history lesson, which I find fascinating because as much as I find lots of parts of history, outside of specific parts of military history, and that's mostly because of my previous career, I don't actually have a narrow pointed knowledge base on any particular point in history, really. So I find it all very fascinating, stumbling through it and being thorough and working it all out. So at the very least, let this video serve as an announcement that you can get these modes for free, and I think you should if you don't actually already have the Assassin's Creed things. But if you do, you should check them out. So this was the first time they did it. I've never played this before. I think it's a bit more, if you compare the two Assassin's Creeds between Origins and Odyssey, Origins was a bit more tech demo-y to Odyssey's fully realization. So like a lot of cool things were being done in this game, but were much more realized in the next one. And I believe the Discovery Tour will be the same. So this one might not be as robust as the ancient Greece version, but still, we'll have a go and find out. Anyway, a bit of a wordy sort of intro, but like I said, they've released it for free because of the current sort of global pandemic that's going on, and it's worth checking out. There's nothing wrong with a bit of self-education as well. Anyway, so I'm going to jump in, and I suppose we're going to give this a red hot go and have a look. Oh, it'll have to load in, I suppose. So like it's gamified a bit, you know, you can climb around and that, but it's not like there's combat or some campaign, or I don't even think there's a leveling mechanic. You can unlock different skins for your avatar, but ultimately it is like a virtual museum is probably the best way to think of it. And I think from my brief experience with the Greece one, this is a phenomenal concept, and but mostly because I'm getting old as well. I think younger me probably would hate this. With content curated by Egyptologists and hundreds of images sourced from museums and libraries around the world, we hope to share with you the passion that inhabited us for the 4 years it took to develop Assassin's Creed Origins. Okay. Make sure you let me know if you find this interesting, because I'd be keen to go through this thoroughly.
Ancient Egypt.
Guided tours will take you through majestic landmarks and acquaint you with ancient Egyptians and their culture. Enjoy the vast panoramas of this beautiful country through the eyes of your eagle, or use an avatar to climb to the very top of the Great Pyramid. Navigate a boat along the banks of the River Nile, or ride a horse across deserts and lush, fertile lands. Oh wow, this all sounds pretty cool. And when a view truly captures your fascination, take a picture using the photo mode and share it with your friends. I should probably use photo modes a bit more, I think. We hope that you enjoy this experience. I think I will. I'll tell you what, the soundtracks of these past few Assassin's Creeds have been so good. I haven't finished them. I've played enough to know I love them. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but I just haven't had time. Alright, so we're playing as the Sheila, I believe, by Ex Misso. Yeah. Oh, that will not do. Controls. Give me a sec, team. We will go gameplay. Come on, don't be difficult. Mouse? No, I don't want mouse. I want controls. Y-axes, no, I would argue inverted is normal, but that's okay. There we go, much better. All right, cool. So let's, how cool is this? This does not look like the Australian suburbs to me. All right. Alexandria planning the city. Number of stations 8. And this is in Alexandria. Learn about the design and layout of the city. 6 minutes, you say? I call lies. I'm going to take my time.
Of the city.
Okay. So pretty.
Alexander's plan to build his great city
began
with a verse from Homer's Odyssey. There is, in front of Egypt, in the sea with many swells, an island called Pharos. Guided by these clues, Alexander the Great founded his future city at the western end of the Nile Delta.
Yeah, right. How crazy. More info. Battle of Issus between Alexander and Darius. Oh, cool. So that's what this picture is from. Nice. I like that. That's cool. Alexander's plan to build his great city began with a... Oh, no, that's what the guy said before. That's fine. That's cool. Okay, this is different. I don't recall in the other one having like a voiceover sort of handhold, actually. This is a little bit different.
Though Alexander considered this location ideal for his great city, it presented considerable challenges.
Right.
Difficult to access during storms, the surrounding swamps threatened disease.
Yeah.
And the limestone soil prevented the growth of healthy crops. However, due to the influence of his mentor Aristotle, Alexander the Great recognized that the true value was its strategic emplacement.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can zoom.
Alexander knew that in controlling Pelusium to the east, Memphis to the south, and his crowning glory Alexandria to the west, he would create a triangular stronghold, allowing him to control the entire delta while giving him access to the Mediterranean.
That's quite interesting. Can't say I've had to think about those sort of things before, you know? I don't really, I don't build cities on the reg. So this seems a little bit more rigid than the Odyssey one. Again, we played the Odyssey one on the channel a little bit. I'll probably jump on that after this, actually. And that's a little bit more freeform, a little bit more investigate points. But who knows, that this might open up that way as well. I'm not sure yet.
The walls of Alexandria had a humble beginning. Lacking chalk to outline the future city's foundations, architects were forced to use flour instead.
Oh, that's cool.
Clouds of migrating birds swept down and ate the flour, erasing the plans. This prompted Alexander to seek guidance from the oracles, who reassured him that his future city was destined to feed a large population.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Whoops, eh? Papyrus Marsh. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Excavations led by Mahmud Bey el-Falaki in the 19th century revealed that the wall enclosure measured approximately 5.2 kilometers in length and 2.2 kilometers in width. It was roughly 9 meters in height.
9 meters, eh? View of the obelisk of Thutmosis? Oh, wow. Cool. Alright, more. Give me more game. Oh, look, little dude on his camel.
These formidable ancient walls would resist a number of attacks, including fending off the king of Syria in 169 BCE. It wasn't until 295 CE that they eventually fell to Roman Emperor Diocletian, and this only after 8 months of relentless assault.
Jesus. 8 months siege. Look at that. View of Alexandria and the Roman Tower. Yeah, right. Ah, it's so big. Cool. Next stop. Oh, they're just little ones, are they? Ah. Oh, sorry, buddy. A little bit bad there.
Alexandria's principal architect,
It's Main Street,
chose a Hippodamian grid plan. The grid maximized functionality, with wide, straight roads and canals running beneath them.
Yeah, okay.
Alexander recognized the military value of the city's design. The wide, parallel streets gave him optimal surveillance of the city, while allowing the unobstructed flow of troops.
Yeah, right. Look at that. That's rad. Alexandria Center. Okay. It's cool. It's cool how different this is to the other one. I kind of like them both. This is much more on rails. Probably make it even more accessible, to be honest.
A central corridor ran from the Mediterranean's north port down to Lake Mareotis to the south. This thoroughfare acted as an unobstructed link for commercial trade and travel between the two ports.
Okay.
Many of the streets were bordered with grand buildings and parks, including Canopic Street, with its impressive gate bordering the eastern end.
Nice. Jeez Louise, look at that. That's pretty crazy. All right, next stop on the tour. Excuse me, sir.
Alexandria was most likely built upon an already existing Egyptian village. Upon its completion, the Egyptians reviled the city, refusing to call it by its founder's name. Instead, they called it Raked, the building, as a mark of disdain, which was later Hellenized into Rakotis. Despite this, the name Alexandria would remain.
Okay. Rakotis, eh? Alright, tour completed. Oh, me bird. Welcome to the... Oh, here we go. Maybe it opens up now a bit. That's nice. You can now explore ancient Egypt at your own pace, or select to choose a new tour by opening the menu. Well, let's do that. So, there's a whole bunch of Alexandria tours, but then there's like pyramid tours. There's daily life tours. Oh, that sounds interesting. The Romans. Yeah, right. Okay, map. So we've got the map. Holy dooly. So these are like your fast travel points. So there's probably not a lot for us out here in the bloody desert because we're not really playing the game, as it were. But look how many things there are to do. Okay. Oh my goodness, this is good. There's going to be a lot to learn. All right, tours, characters. Yeah, so you can be like, wow, you can be Julius Caesar, be Cleopatra. I guess he's still kicking around, isn't he? Oh, Ptolemy? Huh. Be an actor, Egyptian woman. Okay, you can just be a Roman soldier. Oh, wow. Be a Greek woman? Oh, yeah, there you go. I'll just slum it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. A Greek man. All right, so passport. Isn't this... Oh, you can fast travel to them? How is that really different from the tours menu? Okay, it's about the same. View stations. Oh, you can actually go to each individual thing. That's cool. So you can sort of just tick box everything. Timeline. Oh, wow. How cool is that? And then we got our controls. Yeah, right. Well, look, I find the pyramids interesting, but I saw some daily life stuff, which was interesting too. The first mummy. Yeah. We'll go to Siwa. That's like the starting area in the main game, I believe. Oh, look at me. What an absolute Chad. All right. Kind of peaceful, isn't it? Yeah, alright. Teach me, game. Start tour. Let's go.
Welcome to Osiris, the first mummy.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I have like very little Egyptian knowledge at all. Mine's limited to bloody like Stargate. Doesn't mean I don't find it interesting though.
The oldest mummies recovered date from the Old Kingdom, though Egyptologists believe that mummification was in use much earlier than that. At first, the body was mummified through environmental desiccation, by leveraging the dryness of the environment and the heat of the climate.
Okay.
Early experimentations in mummification were conducted with the use of resin made from tree sap. Strips of linen were only used on some superficial parts of the epidermis of the hands or jaw.
Right. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Wowee. Okay. In we go. God, I gotta replay this game, eh?
Ideologically, the will to preserve the body is not explained in any way until 3600 BCE. This is when the Egyptian belief that the body housed the soul was finally documented for modern Egyptologists to eventually decipher.
Okay.
It was not until the arrival of the myth of Osiris in the Egyptian religion around the 5th dynasty that mummification was thoroughly conceptualized. The practice was thereafter grounded in both a mythological and ideological point of view.
Wow. 5th dynasty Osiris inscription at King Unis's tomb. How cool is that? I wish I could read that. Oh man. That's sick. Alright, next stop. Can I use my torch? I can. Aha, so I remember the controls.
Osiris was mainly known as the god of the dead and the god of resurrection.
Oh, okay.
The most well-known Genesis myth concerning Osiris is that of his dismemberment.
Oh, really?
It is Plutarch who gives the most simplified and complete summary of the story. Within Egyptian mythology, Osiris represented the first king to rule Egypt. Jealous of his power, his brother Seth attempted to usurp his throne.
Okay.
After several unsuccessful attempts, Seth succeeded in killing his brother by dismembering him and scattering the pieces of his body all over Egypt.
Rough.
Isis, the great of magic, traveled all over Egypt in search of the pieces of her husband's body. After a long search, she recovered all the pieces save for his manhood, as it was eaten by a fish.
Oh. Oh, shit. Poor Osiris's junk. There you go. We learnt something today, team.
Isis then reassembled the body of her husband by binding it together with strips of linen. Aided by her sister Nephthys, another powerful magician, they gave Osiris the breath of life. This not only brought him back from the dead, but also allowed him to recover his virility long enough to impregnate Isis, thus ensuring his succession before, once more, dying. Thus Horus was born.
Geez, that's handy. His doodle grew back. Yeah, right. Isis and Horus. Wait, Isis? Weren't they saying Iset? Maybe it's interchangeable.
The ritual used to bring Osiris back to life essentially depicts how he became the first mummy. It is why, on the sarcophagi of kings, we often find Isis and Nephthys represented as the magicians who restore life to the deceased.
Alright, look at that. And consumes offering to Horkati, Osiris, Isis, and Nephthys. Right. How cool is this? Nice. Oh, well, let's get another one going. I think maybe, will this be... Oh, no, that's in a totally different region. Ah, okay, so we could just fast travel around. Or we could, like, go to the map and walk to the next ones. Oh, that's a bit of a walk, though, isn't it? That's a little bit of a walk. That's right. We'll fast travel to another one. Hang on. Tell me, pyramids? Origin of the pyramids? Oh, what about, what's going on here? Mummies of ancient Egypt. The importance of mummies. Well, we already sort of covered off on mummies a little bit, didn't we? Building ancient Egypt. That sounds cool. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, but this is how I'm doing it. Just jumping around. It seems, yeah, just having the tours. Again, the Odyssey one seemed to be a bit more robust, but this is pretty cool. This is pretty, like, in depth. Understand the different techniques used by ancient Egyptians to quarry stone blocks and build their monuments. Yeah, okay.
Welcome to Building Ancient Egypt.
Thank you, sir. Oh, wow. Look at those hills in the distance. Crazy.
Constructed with bricks made of mud, most ancient Egyptian buildings were not permanent. Only religious temples and funerary monuments were meant to stand the ravages of time. For these very important structures, Egyptians used limestone, sandstone, and harder materials, such as granite, quartzite, and travertine. These heavy stone blocks were so prized that they were often transported from quarries located hundreds of kilometers away.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at all the little houses. Hammermat. Quarrying and mining village. Ah.
Limestone was common and easy to extract from quarries on the east bank of the Nile. This particular limestone had marine fossils in it, however, preventing it from being easily decorated and polished. Used as the main building material, the structure would then be finished with a finer limestone that was polished smooth and decorated as needed.
Right.
Limestone was used for the building of the first pyramids and for most of the religious buildings of the Old and Middle Kingdoms.
Temple of Ramses II. Offering from Ramses / Ramses III. Reign of Ramses. Oh, wow. So the ones with the fossils in them weren't pretty. That's interesting, even though they're probably, by today's standards, infinitely more valuable.
To use sedimentary rock beds or layers like sandstone and limestone because they were often easier to extract. The common method used to extract stone was the open pit quarry.
Right.
Stonecutters would find quality stone, shape, and dig it out on site. Open pit quarries enabled many workers to work simultaneously on many blocks, which allowed for better productivity.
I guess if you've got the manpower in bulk slaves, right? Stonemason's chisel. Yeah. Yeah, right. The old open cut mine, eh?
Workers would draw a large grid directly
Look at
on
that.
the stone surface, taking care to leave a space between the blocks. This allowed them to isolate the different blocks and create a trench that would make the extraction easier.
Yeah, yeah.
Stoneworkers used iron chisels for hard rock and bronze or copper tools for softer rocks such as limestone. Removing material between each block created a trench line. In some quarries, that trench was wide enough to accommodate a worker.
Oh,
who
okay.
then cut the block entirely on site. For harder rocks like granite, workers cut a series of holes and hammered wooden wedges into them.
Yeah,
They
okay.
then soaked the wood until it swelled and caused the rock to split.
Oh, that's clever. Nice. Oh, you can sort of see on that one next to it on the right. They're putting the wood bit, they've cut little wood holes and then they soak it to expand it. How clever is that? Hello, sir. Don't think he's into me.
The gallery extraction technique was used when the desired rock was buried under layers of rubble. This method was often necessary in order to find the whiter and finer limestone required for a smoother finish.
Yeah?
The first step was for the stoneworkers to create an access pit that would allow them to reach the desired wall of stone.
Yeah.
Once a wall of quality stone was exposed, workers could then cut out smaller blocks. This pit required a descending platform. Designed like a stairway, it allowed them to free multiple galleries of blocks.
Oh, okay.
To cut the stone, they created a longitudinal kerf, or slit, and then cut the rock at a 90-degree angle.
Yep.
The lower side was determined along the geological layers or by using
Whoa.
a horizontal cut. Wooden wedges were inserted in the rock and hammered in. Shock waves were then generated using hammers, fracturing the blocks at the seam.
Yeah. Okay. The Quarries of Tura. Yeah, cool. Ah, indeed, sir.
To maintain the stability of these mining pits over the course of quarrying, workers would leave support sections of unexcavated rock.
Yeah. Fair. Of course you would. Doesn't seem like they build any sort of reinforcement structure or anything like that. It's just pure cut, which is probably pretty dangerous.
In every quarry, dedicated shrines were established to offer protection for the workers. In particular, Serket, the scorpion goddess, was considered a very powerful deity among quarry workers. Every mine and quarry of ancient Egypt included a scorpion charmer who was said to use magical powers to ward off the dangerous insects and keep the workers safe.
Oh, that's nice. Chapel dedicated to the god of the Nile, Happy. Nice. Oh, another one down. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I actually find this engrossing and incredibly entertaining and interesting. Like I said, at the very least, consider checking out that it's free for the next couple of days by the sounds of it. Free to keep, that is, but only if you redeem it. And the Ancient Greece one. But having said that, if you're enjoying just joining me on this sort of little tour of discovery, I'm by no means a qualified tour guide, but I'm definitely an excited sort of consumer of it. So let me know if you want to see more. I would be happy to do all of this. We could play through this whole thing if there's enough interest. I don't have any problem with that. We might learn a few things along the way. Like Osiris getting his junk eaten by a fish. You know, I'm not going to forget that. That's interesting. Anyway, team, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you on the next one.